Ada, my favorite taxidermist refugee. Why would the only law-abiding deer in Slander District ever beg for his life? Did Geoff talk you into conning someone? Someone called Taylid, perhaps?
No thanks, all the gold in Basakrat ain't worth a word with that sicko. Don't tell him I said that. Oof.
Eesh. Well, the rules, the most serious possibility out, which leaves us with a scared buck and a secret.
So tell me your secret.
And you know that I'm only second to Ina when it comes to both. Start talking. Never have I seen a tree look so threatening.
Deep breath. Alright. If I'm gonna die, at least let me die a honest buck. I met this girl and she booped me and I got so nervous that I ran away, but then we met again and it turned out we knew each other cause I tried to save her once and things got kinda heated in between us and I hate her horns! What we did last night? Ooh boy, that can't be legal.
Oh, say no more! Say no more! So, you shed your antlers. That's no big deal, and most certainly not a crime. Though, you know, fawns happen. You do know about that, right?
Do we have to have the talk?
Do we need to talk about the fawns and the...
Oh no, I hope not.
Ada, I love you like a son, but please don't make me take on your father's actual educational duties.
I know where phones come from. They're brought in by a bird. That ain't,
Good. Then what could... Oh, of course. I should have known from the very first moment.
Other's eyes lit up slightly. In a grab, let a heavy hand fall on the buck's shoulder as he took a deep breath.
Ada, no matter how guilty you feel, cheating is not a crime.
Wait, no! Say woo!
I want you to know that I don't approve of what you've done, but I'm sure Ida will understand if you talk to her.
I'd never cheat on Ana. I'd have to be courting her for dead anyway.
You're not?
Course not. My boss is the strongest and the coolest and cute as a bug to boot. Wait, what? Really? Cute as a bug? Okay. I guess caterpillars are cute in their own special way.
Well, yeah, I guess caterpillars, but... And butterflies are considered a bug, right?
And I guess I would like to have a tarantula as a pet.
My cousin had a pet tarantula.
See? There you go. Ain't nobody good enough in this world to court Ana, much less me. I could never find me a doe like her.
But kid, she's not a...
Hiya! Okay. If a tree falls in a temple and there are 3 people to hear it, including the tree itself, does it make a sound?
It makes an oof.
The answer is yes. He says doe. Doe!
Alright, kiddo, that's the end of the talk. Why don't you go back to sulking in a corner or something? Oh,
Ilograb laughed awkwardly as Aina dragged him away.
you're so lucky I can't have you arrested. You unruly little beast.
A beast! A beast! I saw a beast! Snicker.
Yeah, of course. Mark your biggest ally.
Literally and figuratively.
Excuse me, that wasn't on purpose, I swear. Your greatest ally? I was just trying to help you. Forget that stupid argument. I thought I told you to tell him the truth already. Don't play the mute card with me. There's a million ways you could tell him. That boy's blinded and per talk, but he'll find out sooner or later that you're lying to him. You want to wait until Eka is here? How do you think he'll react then?
Like that, I guess.
Ina, we aren't like him. Like them. I know you care a lot about him. So do I. I love the both of you. But keeping up the charade for so long is only going to make the truth harder than it should be. Dear, have a life, and we are part of it, of course. But there are just some things that we can never give them. Things that they need in their short time on Dakna. No matter how much we love them. Curious. Adder is no exception to that rule. He is beginning to realize that you're not the sun of his life. Ina, take the whole night business out, and what do you have? He's just a boy with down-to-earth concerns.
Such as surviving on a day-by-day basis.
He wants a farm. He wants a family. He will move on one day and find those things. And we should be happy for him. Do you understand?
There were some concepts that Aina was acutely aware of, even if she herself didn't realize that. How painfully small her influence could be on anyone's life was one of them. I should be the center of the universe! A few moments went by in complete silence as she contemplated the faces that had left her behind already. She had always been all too eager to forget how rare company had been throughout her existence. Bearing the weight of such a thought, she finally nodded with her head low. Ilograb's moustache turned down as his eyebrows rose. A million worried creases formed where his forehead should be.
Great! Then do me a favor and take him somewhere nice tonight. If you know what I'm saying.
Not one, not two, not three, but 4 question marks.
She honestly does not know how to deal with this. You have to make sure to have fun together while you can. So go make up with him. Take him out tonight. Who knows? Maybe he'll loosen up and tell you what's going on after a few drinks.
Haha!
I know I would have loose lips. It's time to let him in, or let him go. So you two better be smooshing your faces together by the end of the night, okay? That's a royal order.
In an incredible display of dexterity, Ilograb managed to produce a handful, a giant 3-years handful, of Dorus from a bag on his belt, which he handed to a very flustered Aina as discreetly as he could. Satisfied with his act of generosity, he took a long glance around the forge, finally stopping to stare at the embers resting on the bottom of the furnace.
I'm gonna have to arrest you for burning my kind now. And you could also think of that as a tip, you know, so you can work on my order a bit faster.
Aina looked at Illigrub straight in the eye, not restless, not calm, even more silently than usual. She stretched out the end holding the coins towards him.
Fair enough. I should know better than to try and bribe a Tess. You guys are a prideful bunch. But hey, keep the money. I'm sure Ada could use a little, push in the right.
Are you going to help me down or what? I am still burning over here! Old immortal man burning over here! Could use some help, you dunderhead? You leafy, beefy dolt?
Red, I swear I'd let the mobs have their way with you if it wouldn't make your daughter sad.
I'd like to see you try! I was about to turn into Vince McMahon there.
I'd like to see you try!
I'd like to see you try, Austin!
That's it, I'm fired!
Literally on fire!
Oh, I'm sure you would. He's right, though. I shouldn't leave him hanging like that. Good luck, Ida.
He was there burning this entire time. That's hysterical.
Yes.
So that was an interesting glimpse into Aina's life and into the kind of relationship and connection herself, her old man, and the beefy leafy guy share with each other.
Yeah.
Free from the chains of unwanted social interaction. That's every introvert's dream, isn't it?
Yes.
Aina silently pondered Illigrub's words as she headed back to Ada's side. There used to be sacred flat pools in the public courtyard, now served as a magnificent dish and laundry washing station. Others, particularly, since he was in charge of these chores. At the end of the day, any of her oh-so-urgent chores were just another excuse to keep Ada around. He purposefully looked the other way. Of course he didn't want to talk to her. So what, no more somersaulting? The irony of getting blatantly ignored by the clingiest deer on Dachna wasn't lost on Aina. A painful punishment, if there was one. An apology was something to be rarely expected from the smith, not because she failed to see the fault in her actions, but because she didn't know how to apologize. Lack of practice, you see.
Yeah, I can see that.
No, that was just an excuse. Ada always knew when Aina felt guilty about anything. Then again, why did she have to apologize when it was him who failed to appreciate her efforts? She should have continued patting her own back and telling herself how right she was, if she hadn't noticed that the food wasn't nowhere to be seen. Well, it seems that the tables have turned. Yeah. Yeah. Aina carefully removed from Ada's hands the brass dish that he'd been polishing over and over. It ain't clean yet. There's some red spot that just won't get. An incredible feat considering that he'd been washing the same dish since her conversation with Illigrub started. The dish had been cleaned with such dedication that she could see a reflection in it.
Wow.
Aina stared at the dish, and the dish stared back. Then at Adder.
And then to the dish again.
Back at the dish.
Oh no, it is that joke, isn't it?
Adder again. Once satisfied with her observations, she whacked Adder's snout with the flat side of the dish in a manner she considered softly.
I think his terrified look says otherwise.
What is it now? What do you want? You want to ruin my life now? Smirking in the most annoying fashion possible, she shoved the dish on Adder's face. Yeah, there it is! Just let me clean that darn dish! Aina turned the dish around once more just to make sure she was right. There was no spot to be seen. Seeing that her first idea didn't yield any results, Aina decided that some better strategic positioning was in order. Hey, wait! Don't go walking into the pool! You're gonna make well,
this is something.
Ignoring the way her boots were getting soaked and how questionable her repositioning was, Aina sat down in the gap left between Adder's legs and the pool. She held the dish out as far as she could and then tapped on its surface, attempting to call Adder's attention to it once more. He had to regain a bit of composure first.
Yep, that's not the only composure. Oh my gosh!
Can't you see the spot? It's there, right next to your oh. A brief lapse of clarity came about as Adder's sight traveled towards a red blur on the brass dish, right where his right eye should have been.
He confused it for his eye patch.
And I'm dumb. Big surprise. Matley!
I mean, he's tall as Dastardly. And
They
Ina,
agreed on that.
And Ina has green hair.
A tranquil silence followed Adder's epiphany, a moment of reflection. Haha, get it?
Yes.
Reflection?
Literal reflection.
Oh my gosh, comedy. Aina looked up at Adder with her big lilac eyes, hoping to tug at his heartstrings in lieu of an apology. Some would call that kind of purposefully cute look manipulative. Some people would get their asses kicked.
Yep.
Well, darn boss, I may not be all that used to the eye thing just yet, but I don't really need two eyes to see when you're trying to play me. Aina patted Adder's enormous arms as patronizingly as she could, ruffling the fur that covered them, touching them, feeling them, feeling them.
Oh my gosh.
It seemed that none of them would exactly apologize for what happened. So of course they went back to playing with the dish like the big children they were. Who the hell's that gnarled leafless palm tree? That ain't me. There just ain't no way that's my face. Where'd my cheeks go? No wonder I don't recognize myself. Hold up. How did she even manage to recognize me then? Was that magic too? What? Aina had no idea who she was or what magic he was talking about, but there was only one gigantic one-eyed roe deer with shovels for hands in the whole city. Other put the dish away, fixing his gaze farther into the mountain, where a statue... Oh.
Because you said mountain.
Further into the fountain mountain, where a statue stood mutilated and bereft of the glory it had ages back. Curses! Ain't no way I could forget someone like that twice. Knowing fully well that he wasn't talking to her, Aina continued running her bandaged fingers along his fur, absent-mindedly feeling those muscular, shovel, sweaty arms.
Not exactly muscular right now. That like Popeye forearms, I'm guessing that she'd be more
Popeye
shaky.
forearms have their appeal, I suppose? Somewhat
Drawing,
concerned
yes.
about his sudden interest for the son of the sun. She could only guess why he was talking to a statue. But then again, didn't that hold true for everything? Did she actually understand a single thing either did or said? Could she even?
Could you even, you know?
Other had told her a million things since they met. She didn't care. They did not affect her in the slightest. And yet he kept pouring his heart out to her, and she kept ignoring him, like some sort of tug-of-war for lonely idiots.
Tinder, right?
Oh!
Sorry.
Snap!
Sorry to people who use Tinder. I don't mean to be mean. It's a joke.
I mean, yes, it's an easy joke. So why did the thought of not understanding him distress her so much now, when she hadn't made a single effort to do so in the time they had known each other? Because he's sleeping away. I'm sure there is a song about it. In the time they had known each other. Ildegrab's words resonated within her, making her feel a guilt she usually quieted with violence.
Violence fixes everything that you don't want to feel.
You know, I've been thinking a whole darn lot about the past lately, boss. Aina's torn-up ears perked up. What were the chances of those two thinking the same thing? Other smiled ever so slightly, giving her his trademark, "Here's a story you don't want to miss."
That is a very specific look.
Do ya remember the day we met? What a question. Of course I don't. I ignored you. Hey, don't ya at me, missy. Imagine you just walk into the city thinking this is finally your day, you make a friend, is gonna get you a job, and then you turn round the corner and stumble upon a grandpa on fire! That's an unforgettable first impression, let me tell you.
Yeah, indeed.
Nothing strange as far as Aina was concerned.
That was normal, huh?
Do me a favor and make like your idea of weird and mine sort of match for a minute, boss. As I was saying, my pa raised a good boy, and a good boy don't let grandpas fry on a pyre. So I rush into the temple, ready to end the one life I got to save his. What Other didn't know is that Aina had been looking down on the scene from her window, giving her quite a more accurate retelling of the events.
Is he crying?
But no matter how hard I try, the fire's just too strong for me. There's nothing a poor buck like me can do. With his last breath, the old man calls for his daughter. Come here, you stupid daughter! I hate you! I should have never paid that bird to give you to me! And he hollers until...
I guess the people did not like his hot takes now that I think about it.
Whoa! The prettiest girl I'd seen in my life walks right out of the gate. Aina made a conscious effort not to giggle. To be fair, half the female population that Adder met was the prettiest girl he'd seen in his life.
He's just been nice.
And she makes her way through the crowd. She looks at me, of all the people. Of course, she was looking at him. He was screaming louder than the man on the fire. That's got to be some contest, let me tell you.
I don't like his hot takes.
And she gets closer and closer, and then the little thing just signs us to get eaten by a beast! A beast! I saw a beast! And walks away like it got nothing to do with her. Those were the days. Wonder who that girl was, huh? Eh? He poked Aina's cheek, and she slapped his hand away as solemnly as she could. He was one to talk about first impressions. Shaggy, chubby, badly patched up, and wearing a ridiculous vest. That's how she remembered the Adder that first appeared in their gate. Screaming in fear as usual. Or screaming for fear. Once upon a time there had been muscle and even fat on Adder's arms. All that remained to attest to his gigantism were a pair of oversized hands and clothes that had been mended beyond recognition. Indeed, he was once a boy with a tender scar on his face, yelling from the rooftops that he fully intended to become a knight. But dreams aren't edible, are they? Oh, that's too real, man. I gotta say, this year's been kicking my ass real bad. But I'm still alive and in one piece. I guess I got good health at least. Not thanks to your horn-shattering, teeth-breaking, nose-bending punches. Let me tell ya. But you're the one person I can always count on, boss. I trust ya with my life. Ah, stop. Stop. I command you to stop! Stop being adorable, I will drown you! Uh-huh. Cough. That was just a very Adderish exaggeration, of course. They had only been friends since the last Bleak night. At least the way she saw it. There was no way he trusted her that much already. Then again, Adder would have probably argued that they had been friends since he arrived with the first bloom of flower essence, and that he would have died for her since the moment he saw her. And it ain't just you. I can't imagine leaving Mr. Bard's home or not going on walks with Ilograb, even the Patreon, even him! Gods, I never thought I'd find something like this when I left the fort. I was just dying to go back. Back.
In time?
To the future? Adder shut up all of a sudden. Aina was surprised he'd managed to speak half a sentence about his draft. There went another issue he never talked about. Both Adder and Aina turned their eyes to the reflection once more. The image on the dish offered no good answer to the questions either of them had. It just talked about the outcome of their decisions. Aina shifted the dish a little, until she was no longer in the picture. That's where she belonged.
Aw.
Now, you really gotta quit sneaking around, boss. Putting his hands just above hers, Adar turned the dish so she would be back in the reflection. She turned her face up towards his, confused.
With a blush, apparently, too.
Ilograb's words got to ya, right? Still observing Adar's snout in such a weird angle, she nodded. He had been a lot more vigilant than what she had originally thought, but he had decided to remain silent about it all the same. From such a low angle, his still faunish and round face looked even mature. Now, that was a stretch. She knew that mature was probably one of the last adjectives that would ever be associated with him. But, for just a moment, she felt like he wasn't a dumb kid who would get lost if she let go of him anymore. Please, oh please, oh please, oh please, you didn't believe him, ma'am. He got it all wrong. I ain't a cheater. I never was something skirting, I swear. It was just a moment, as I said.
A moment of maturity.
And it's gone. Aina quietly considered the question. I said Aina quietly considered the question! But not before headbutting his chest for that tell, of course. So, what do we do now? Do we pry? Like a prying mantis? Or do we comfort him? Like a comfortable chair?
I mean, comfort him like a chair, I guess.
Okay. No matter what was troubling Adar, it obviously wasn't her business. She didn't like it when he pried into her life. It was only fair she'd return the favor and let him be. Aina took a long glance at the stag's jaw, letting her mind wander. She always kept him at an arm's length, affectively speaking. She feared what Adar would find if she looked closer.
Ooh.
Like, for example, green is not my natural color! Oh! But in moments of true hardship, Aina knew just what to do to cheer him up. No money or alcohol required. Effortlessly, she grabbed onto his arms and brought them around her waist, pulling him into what could only count as alpha hug.
Half a hug, huh?
Adar embraced her as strongly as he could, moved by this gesture. Any other person's spine would have probably crumbled under the weight of Adar's chest, but not Aina's. Oh no no no.
Oh no no no, Ida can take that.
Boss. Sniff. I can't believe Ilograb had the nuts to go and say such a thing. What kind of buck does he think I am? He knows how much you meant to me. I'd never even hurt you like that. Aina sighed contentedly to herself, laughing about her previous considerations about him looking like an adult. Adar was as scaring, vulnerable and predictable as the day she met him. That hadn't changed at all. She didn't want him to change at all. Change was scary, and Adar an oddity in a world that shunned her. She wanted him safe and sound by her side. How could that ever be a bad thing? I can think of a few scenarios.
Yeah, I can have a couple of scenarios. Give me time.
She didn't need an answer. It was now time for Aina to go back to sulking and for Adder to feel bad thinking that it was due to what Illigrab said. They got it all wrong, Illigrab. Mr. Bard, the Patreon. I know they wanna help. Especially the Patreon is my very best friend. Oh, he's all about helping people.
Totally.
But all them city folks think they know better than Shorthorns over yonder. He don't even get to finish talking cause they already know what the damn phone's gonna say. You got any idea how gosh darn freaking annoying that is? Oh no, she has no idea how annoying
Totally.
that is. Aina rolled her eyes back, asked the mute girl if she knows anything about not getting to chip in. I ain't no fun. I've been a farmer, and a water seller, and a watchman, and a soldier. I had a life before I met him, and I had one now too, but I just don't want to tell them about it. They wouldn't understand. Society wouldn't understand. Oh, but they would. And what if I just don't want to talk? What if I'm tired of everyone thinking I'm a hick and that's it? It ain't the end of the world, right? Right? Adder looked at Aina pleadingly with his big, glassy eye on the verge of tears. The smith couldn't even bring herself to give him the sarcasm he deserved. Aina nodded passionately, giving him a lazy, derisive pat on his cheek. She found that almost relatable.
Almost.
With a loud sigh full of resignation, frustration, and just a hint of relief, Adder rested his chin on Aina's head, letting his surge of honesty suddenly vanish. Woo-wee! Feels good to get off my chest. Once more, dozen stugs. The only one that gets it is Aina the Smith. I'm sorry for all the grief I've given ya, boss. I should have talked to you sooner. Indeed, he should have. But she was gracious enough not to remark it. Aina let him know that she still expected an explanation with a single look, and Adder's cheeks jumped a little as he looked away, smiling as coyly as his giant teeth would let him. And here came the part where he poured his heart out to the beautiful maiden by his side, and their relationship was strengthened even further.
I see that you know about visual novel dating sims, Ida.
Yes, especially in whatever time this story is taking place in. Aha, boss! You know that I know there ain't nobody in the whole Akazor that'll keep a secret safer than you. But that still don't mean you get to hear about it. Oh.
Yep, Ida is like, all like, why not?
Not one, not two, not three, but 4 exclamation marks.
They come in fours.
Time to roll out the barrels.
The
Ada,
shotgun
do a barrel
barrels.
roll!
The shotgun barrels.
I've got a barrel roll. Well, ma'am, I think I'm all tucked out for today. I should get going now. Mr. Bard's playing tonight and someone's gonna make sure he don't drink our money. See you tomorrow. Ahem.
I think you have something.
Adder headed off to the arc that led to Slender District. A set of steps started walking behind him. Adder started running.
And the steps would get faster.
Boss? Ha! Gotcha! Did I forget something? Aina pointed at Adder and then at herself. You wanna come along? I don't know, boss. It's a stag night. We're gonna drink ourselves silly and then we're gonna talk about those. Woo, yeah. Those.
You got like those legs? Eh?
Geoff talking about those? Now, there's the biggest piece of fiction ever written. Needless to say, Aina remained very much unconvinced. What about your pie? He's gonna be madder than a hornet when he hears you're out drinking with me again.
Again?
Is someone taking my daughter out to drink? I'll get them! But he's still burning as he said that. The merchant was essentially mad every fraction of a second he spent alive. That wasn't a deterrent under any circumstance.
Well, yeah.
Let me make this a bit easier for you. Do you remember the last time we went to a tavern together, boss? You know, when you threw Mr. Bard out the window, I'm sure he deserved it.
Yes.
And then you just ran after him and left me alone to... Hold up! Don't tell me that was the day she... Whatever story Adder was about to tell disappeared completely from his mind. He beat the claw of his thumb, bubbling to himself with that strange accent of his. So... Her boots didn't even make a sound as she shyly walked towards Adder. She grabbed his hand with her comparatively tiny fingers and looked up, awaiting a response.
So...
I wanna come, 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 I wanna come! Well, okay then. Ah, darn it, boss. Don't cry, please. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you wanted to come along so bad. You can calm down with us any day. And if Mr. Bard got anything to say about that, I'll take care of him. You cheeky sod.
She is cheeky, isn't she?
Aina's lip trembled as she struggled to keep a smirk away from her face. Not so fast, ma'am. You gotta swear over by tat that your butt and the seat are gonna be one and the same. Cause if you see ya throw a single punch or a kick or gods forbid a stab, I ain't ever taking ya with me again. The stakes are high. I don't want another buck slamming a chair against my noggin, got it? Thumbs up.
Ding!
Oh boy.
Lots of character development though in this section.
It was a pretty good chapter in the way it explored the relationship between Aina and
Adder?
Bakaru Banzai.
Oh yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. Evil Grab.
Yes, also Illigrab. And don't forget about the merchant.
Yeah, the burning merchant.
Yes, he's still burning as we speak.
At least he, you know, always has the lights on in his place.
And on that high note, thank you for joining us, everybody. We will be seeing you on the next session of this increasingly intriguing visual novel. We have a hot date tonight! Oh boy!
Oh boy, hot date!
Hot diggity!
What we do?
Yappity yap.